Howdy again, and welcome back to another episode of Spunky the Cat Recaps. I'm Spunky the Cat, and once again, I'll be serving up all the juicy bits from the latest and best episode of Drag Race Mexico. Why? Because you want more Drag Race in your life, but you hate reading the subtitles. Does anyone else get pumped for Rusicals? This one was so good. So let's take our seat in the mezzanine, grab our opera glasses, and get ready to be entertained, mama. First, we must of course remind ourselves what happened last week. A spoiler alert is in effect. Last week was crazy and fun. The episode started with a mini challenge that was basically a food eating competition while in quick drag. I don't know why they did this, but Regina and Vermilia were happy because they won. And then they gained an advantage for the maxi challenge where the queens were tasked with creating commercials in groups of 2. The commercials were Muy Locos and Raunchy AF. They were, however, comically entertaining. The winner of the Maxi Challenge was Regina Voce. It looks like that advantage paid off. She did great, and I hope she delivers another out-of-this-world performance this week. The bottom 2 for the week were Serena Morena and Vermilia Noir. Well, maybe the advantage didn't work out, at least not for Vermilia, as she is again lip-syncing for her life. Serena wins the lip sync, and that brings us to now. This episode is packed with favorites, including the reading challenge, La Biblioteca Está Abierto. After that Drag Race staple, we get a Rusical, another Drag Race staple. I love the Rusicals so much. I wonder if they will be singing live or lip syncing or to a recording or what. So let's get started and find out. This episode starts after Vermilia's elimination as the queens walk back into the workroom. The ladies gather around Vermilia Noir's message and Serena starts reading it. I guess her Spanish is as bad as mine because she thought always was sideways. The girls all had a chuckle at Serena's expense. The mirror was cleaned and the queens started celebrating Regina's win. The group feels that Regina is finally bringing out the claws in the competition and showing all of her talents. Not everyone is feeling as confident this week, and the shady background music leaves me suspicious as to how they're going to perform in the Rusical. Pixie admits to being nervous and says other queens are too. Matraca's confessional shows that she is tired of being overlooked in the judging. Now it's a new day in the workroom, and Pixie is back in the confessionals and once again points out her nerves and tension. It do take nerve, but not nervousness. They all walk in Mexican military style, and Christian Gala and Regina hang back. I guess they are too cool for school. Well, they kind of are. They're some of my favorites in this season. Everyone gathers around the table, and they speculate as to what hurdles they will have to sail through this week. Margaret wants a dance challenge. That would be fun. I like a good choreographed number. Christian asks who else in the group are dancers, and everyone raises their hand except Pixie. Maybe she should have asked who is delusional because they can't all be good dancers. I guess we're going to find out soon. The alarm sounds and the gals move over to the monitor for a message from Lolita. The message is as pointless as ever. She looks great, but what the heck is she talking about? Lolita arrives in the workroom and is serving another cute day look. I have been living for Lolita's workroom looks. They are drag, but the opposite of the opulence she does on the main stage. Anywho, I digress. I want to get on to the mini challenge, but first, Valentina must arrive, and of course, she looks like a cookie I want to eat. She is bringing the sass Lolita is not. We definitely need some sass for La Biblioteca. It's time for the library to open because reading is what? A mini challenge we all look forward to. I'm excited to experience Mexican shade. Who do you think will have the best reads? I'm not sure who will excel, and honestly, sometimes the reads lose their effectiveness when they're in a different language. I do still enjoy these on the international franchises. I feel like maybe Lady Cataro is hiding a shady lady in there, but who knows? The pit crew brings in a huge assortment of glasses to choose from. I've never seen so many options, and often there's only one pair of glasses. I think that this is fun and could show a little bit more about the queen's personalities based on the pair they pick. I don't know. First up, we have Serena Morena. She states that she was ready but thrown off a bit by being first. She selects some fun goggles with gold trim. Her first read is for Arhenis, and she calls her Elvis Frizzly. OMG, I did not get this the first time I saw it. I was like, I'll have to look up who that is, but duh, it's Elvis Presley. So basically her read was that Arhenis's hair is frizzy. That's only a tiny bit true, and she has lovely hair, so that's a bad read. Also, that is the only one Serena did in the edit. What the heck? Next up we have Lady Ketero, and she selected some fun yellow glasses with pretty pink roses. Now she can't see a dang thing. She reads Regina with a compliment about her singing, but then turns it into a joke about her being old and having things in her throat all the time. The crowd really seemed to enjoy this one. Well, not Regina. And once again, only one read was used. I want more. Margaret Ija is the third queen to give it a shot. She selects some colorful, slightly understated glasses. She goes right in on Christian, calling her a sea turtle. Then the joke is that she's old and full of filler. This was witty, but actually just made me feel bad for sea turtles. I stand turtles. She then turns her attention to Arhenis and calls her a bitch, aka Pera. More specifically, she calls her Christian's bitch. This is a read for sure because it insinuates Arhenis is riding coattails. Ouch! Fourth up, we have Pixie Pixie. She picks some fun glasses with tassels that don't really move, so that's weird. What about her reads, though? Pixie locks in on Arhenis, which seems to be a theme of this edit so far. She tells Arhenis to remember that she's a bitch, not a lapdog. This is less well-crafted version of Margaret's read. It didn't really land, but did seem to affect Arhenis. This was Pixie's only read. Now we have Christian up, and she turns into an Azul Cyclops with her glasses. And her first read is towards Arhenis. Geez, people, spread the hate. Poor Arhenis. Christian says that Arhenis is not a lapdog and then demands she come over there and help her remove her glasses. What a pera. Her second read is for Matraka, finally moving to someone else. She read Matraka for having a traditional craft face. I'm not sure what she means or if something's lost in translation, but it's dumb. Matraka has a stunning chiseled face. I guess I wish I had a craft face. Whatever. Next. Welcome to the other side of the room, Regina Voce. She selects some cute pink glasses and goes in on Serena. She has learned a lot from Serena. She has learned exactly what not to do. This is a fun read that's really kind of interchangeable with anyone that's not excelling in the competition. I'm not really laughing, but I'm giving it a pass. Now it's Arhenis' turn, and she picks some black glasses with fringy fringe. I hope she lays these chicas out. The first thing out of her mouth is that she's bad at throwing shade. A disclaimer, girl? Boo. But then Gala speaks up. You are also bad at your face. Damn, Gala, it ain't even your turn yet. Arhenis returns a mediocre read by telling Gala she's not good at her face either. So Arhenis just concedes to being bad at painting? Oh, Arhenis. For her actual read, she goes after Serena. She says, I don't think this is a competition for you, or is it? Then she stops speaking. Como se dice crickets? Where was the read? Why is Arhenis falling apart this episode? Matraka gets the privilege of following that abysmal performance and picks a silly-looking pair of glasses with pastel pom-poms around the edge. She compliments Pixie by bringing up her thick Mexican meat, but then the read is actually for Gala. She compared Gala's thick toes to Pixie's thick member. And that is all from Matraka. Why are they giving so few reads? Finally, it's Thickum Toes herself, Galavaro, on point. She chooses glasses with gold dollar signs and gold fringe. I guess she might have the dreams of a golden child. Shout out Jessica Wilde. Once again, they only air one read for this queen, but it was my favorite read from this entire episode. She actually read Valentina and Lolita. Gala asked them, how does it feel knowing a Mexican will finally win Drag Race? Escandalo. That was a deep cut and I live for it. Of course, Valentina does not feature this read. However, Lolita seems to appreciate it a bit more than her cohort. Valentina makes a joke about Gala already being set for the bottom this week. That concludes the reading challenge. Who do you think did the best? Why did they only air one read for most of the queens? And the couple of queens that had more than one read only had two? Whatever, it was fun. Lolita closes the library and the winner is Margaret Ija. She has officially won 2 of the 3 mini challenges. If only she could do so well in the maxi challenges. Did I just read her for filth? Not for filth, but I did read her. Moving on, the hostesses announce it's time for the Rusical. The title is Dragapoko Shore. I'm assuming it's a spoof of Jersey Shore, which I don't really know anything about, but takes place in Acapulco. Cut to Christian's confessional and she is delivering worrywart. She's concerned about all the dancing and singing and other components that go into such a production. Uh-oh, is she going to finally show some weakness? Lolita announces that this week's guest judge will be Karime Pinter. Cool. We can learn some more about Mexican pop culture when I look her up, because yet again, I don't know anything about this person. The queens seem kind of lukewarm excited in their reaction. Las Reinas relocate and gather around a table in the workroom. It's time to divvy up the roles for Dragapoko Shore. Looks like the queens are just coming up with group consensus of what roles they will be playing. Do any of the queens get spicy about the role they want? I'm glad you asked, because yes, both Regina and Christian diva out on who gets the main character's role. Christian gracefully bows out and chooses the role of Matrishka. Maybe this will give her an excuse if she doesn't do well. You know how the queens be like, that's not the role I wanted, or I could have done good with the role I wanted. Everyone is very engaged in the role selections with the exception of Argenis. Margaret asks Argenis if they would like the role of Rosa, and it's like she has woken her up from an eyes open day nap. Christian tells Argenis to focus, and Argenis basically disconnects and shuts down. So Argenis basically ends up with whatever role no one else wanted. This makes my heart hurt for Argenis. I know what it's like to be all up in your feels, recognize what's going on, and still not be able to get yourself out of it. For me, I just have to wait until the feels pass. However, Argenis does not have the luxury of time, and they will not crown a winner that does not exude confidence. So basically, it's a vicious cycle that is extremely difficult to stop. I feel for you, Gur. You can't have a Rusical without practicing first. We are headed to the main stage for some rehearsal tea with Lolita and Valentina. Lady Ketero admits to being nervous. It seems like everyone is just quivering at the thought of this week's performance. But isn't this what they actually do all the time on the reg? Lolita welcomes Nelson Parra on set. He is the choreographer for Dragapoko Shore, and he is giving us daddy vibes, and the ladies swoon over him. He lays out the basics and starts showing the gang some of the moves. So far the dancing is pretty basic, but Lolita notices someone struggle bussing right away. She directs Nelson's attention to Pixie. Apparently Pixie never dances according to her in the confessional. I don't know if she means like choreography or what. Doesn't she dance at her normal numbers? Maybe she's not a performance queen and is more of a model. I don't know. Rehearsal is over and bam! We are right back at the main stage for the performance. This seemed to happen so fast, but that's great because now it's showtime! We have to bring out the judges first, and as usual, everyone looks stunning. Oscar is looking ever so scrumptious. You all know I love me some Oscar Madrazo. And here is Karime Pinter. I just did a tiny bit of research and discovered that she is a famous Mexican reality TV star from the show Acapulco Shore. Well, dang, it's not a spoof of Jersey Shore. Acapulco Shore is its own thing. Karime found her fame on social media and gained most of her following on TikTok. I'm really enjoying getting more familiar with the Mexican pop culture. Lolita and Valentina show off their wardrobe budgets in these stunning get-ups. Get-ups? These are full-on looks, hunty. Shh, the show is starting. The first scene has all the queens on stage delivering a group number. Regina, aka the Queen, pops out from behind the pack and moves to stage right. She proclaims going on this vacation has always been her dream. I think a lot of people dream of going on vacation. It's really all I think about. Well, that and Drag Race. Oh, and men. I guess I think about a lot of things. Rahina's character is all about introducing herself, and we move to the second scene. This act continues at the house where all the Acapulco Shore residents live. All you have to do at this casa is dance, drink, and boink. There are so many queens in this hot tub, it's hard to see the ones in the back. As close as they are, we know that this was not filmed during the pandemic. Jokes, jokes, he's got jokes. Turns out that this is the land of no thirst. You can always find someone to help hydrate you. One of the lyrics is, at night, we go to the sex boat. I've heard of having sex on a boat, but do certain boats exist for only that purpose? I'll be right back. I have to go to the boat dealership. Regina returns to the stage and reminds everyone that she is the new kid on the block. She claims to be nice, pretty, and has not had any surgical enhancements yet. Christian's character is a self-proclaimed lover of manipulating people. Is she the villain? The characters begin introducing themselves, and Gala is playing a character that is hornier than Rush Hour in New York City. Now I see why Gala wanted this role. Matraka's character is introduced, and she is Gofu, a play on words like go F yourself. I don't know what her character is all about. Maybe she's a bad girl. Fresh off the exterior of a cathedral, we have the gargoyles, Pixie, Margaret, and Lady Carol. If you combine the names of the three of them, Gar-go-le, it spells gargoyle. That's silly and fun. Turns out that Christian's character is the HBIC with all the experience and adoration of the current group of queens living in the house. If I'm just making some assumptions, I would think that this character is the one most closely identifiable to Karime. That's an assumption, sorry if I'm wrong. Looks like we are setting up a rivalry between Regina and Christian. Is this life imitating art, imitating life? The answer is absolutely. Both are the standouts so far. I wonder if anyone else is going to give them a run for their dinero. I think we just got our answer. Gala takes the spotlight and reminds everyone of all of her sexual desires. Is anyone else taking notes like me? Argenis and Serena make up a pair of characters named Pain and Full. At this point, the name games, not the fame games, are becoming painful. They look good. How will they perform? They're coming off as spoiled brats that don't want anyone taking ideas from their social media. They seem to be the only characters concerned about getting kicked out of the house at the end of the season. They start making out and Lolita is not ready for this kai-kai. Christian says it's time to go to work and the scene ends. So far this is going really well and is very enjoyable. Will they keep it up in the next scene or drop la pelota? We are heading to the beach club. I hope there is eye candy at the beach. These four queens start singing about when it is time for work. All they can do is be hungover and vomit. I think I've been fired for that before. Turns out that if you don't do your work, you can't go on a slutty walk. I'd like to know exactly what one has to do to make a walk slutty. Maybe it's subjective and there are different levels of sluttiness while walking for everyone. Regina's character is concerned that her mother is going to see this, but the group reassures her that this slutty walk is a rite of passage and even her mother did it back in her day. Then they play bitch, and I have no idea what they mean. Regina doesn't seem to like being vomited on. Weird. I can't relate. Matraka's character comes forward and it is revealed that she has authority. She says that she can beat the hell out of Queen. Valentina and I make the same face. Hers is prettier. In a twist of events, Gofu can fire Queen. I wonder if she will. Matraka leaves the stage and Christian and Regina have some dialogue to keep the story moving along. Regina states she is leaving tomorrow and Gala comes out of the hot tub with her objections. You see, if Regina leaves, Gala's horny character won't get to do what she does best. As lustful as Gala's character is, she now claims to only have sex for love. But then Christian calls her out for being a liar. I think we all knew. Our next twist is that Queen is getting married tomorrow. So if I understand correctly, Queen started a reality show the day before her wedding. Seems like those things could have been scheduled better. Finally, we have another song. I can't really tell for sure, but it seems like they are lip syncing the songs and doing the standard dialogue live. Can you tell? Let me know down below. This song is basically about how wholesome Queen has been her whole life. This earns her the pity of the other queens. Pain and Full inquire as to the cosmetic work Queen has had. All this goodness in Queen's life has left her rendered without a personality. We are now leaving the beach club and are headed back to the house. Gofu has a moment of weakness by displaying kindness. A couple of the gals are using the toilet while also giving Queen a hard time about her outfit. They want to go to the club and what Regina is wearing will not be sufficient. Everyone starts putting in their 2 pesos. Our next musical number is all about the things Queen has to do, and it turns out that they want her to do whatever they do. Copycat much? Queen doesn't want to be a copy, and this causes her to reflect in real time. Queen realizes that everyone in her life is making her decisions for her. What will she do about that? The cast remembers that they forgot to fight today, so they start fighting, and Queen tries to stop them. But then the next song starts, and it's a metaphor for Queen being a puppet. Once she realizes she's a puppet, she wants to make some changes. From now on, she's going to make all her own decisions. Her first official act of business as her newly found person is to get freaky deaky with Gala's character. Who didn't see this coming? Queen cuts the crap with all the slut stuff and proclaims her desire to end the show with a positive message complete with cheesy stuff about drag. And that is exactly what the final number was. It was a corny, happy, upbeat number, overly generalized. Therefore, no real details other than it was great. The Rusical ends and the judges are overjoyed with appreciation. The judges even gave a standing ovation, except Lolita, but I think she couldn't stand up in that dress. She could barely walk the runway. It's a good thing it is gorgeous since it's keeping her immobile. Runway time, and the category is oro, or gold to us English speakers. I have high hopes for this runway. Now to remind you of my goofy rating system. These ratings explain themselves. I will give each of the looks one of the following: a no way Jose, a just okay Jose, or a yes way Jose. First up we have Christian Peralta. This look overall is a win in the big leagues. At this point, I always expect nothing but the best from Christian, and that is hard to live up to. The most intriguing part of this look to me is the face. The combination of her stunning beat and prosthetic, scaly looking skin makes this unique. Christian gets a yes way Jose. The next queen to walk the runway is Lady Cataro. She is another queen that has set the bar extremely high for herself, and this is another stunner. She is, as described herself, virginal, and then tears away her garment to reveal her whore look. Either way, my chin is on the floor and I need help getting it back into place. Lady Cataro receives a yes way Jose. Third on the runway is Matraca, and she gives you sun, moon, and everything else Cosmo, but all bathed in golden sunlight. This is my favorite look from her so far this season. The headpiece is my favorite part, and I'm impressed with the detailing. Matraca gets a yes way Jose. Now is the time for Serena Morena to show off her golden bits. She arrives to the main stage with this huge golden head mask thing. She hangs the mask on her chesticle and continues down the runway. I'm a little torn on this look. It reminds me of her hometown runway, but in gold. There could be a reference lost on me, but I found the giant mask on her torso as distracting. Serena, you look beautiful, but for my confusion, you get a just okay Jose. Margaret Ija graces the catwalk, and she is letting us have it. Margaret is serving underwater monarch made of gold with a train no one can afford a ticket to ride realness. I mean, come the freak on, man. I can't even, it's so stunning. I also like that she switched up her signature makeup. It's important to have a brand, but I feel it's even more important in a competition setting to show versatility. Margaret is a yes way Jose, no questions asked. Following Margaret is Pixie, and I do not like what she is wearing. It just seems like something is off. Why is it bulky and why not flowy? As the details are not impressive and it's kind of bland, she then turns her back to the cameras and raises her arms. Some sort of reveal is coming. She turns back around and she is the dang temple to be worshipped. This concept is the absolute best and the execution is good. The inside of it, well, we'll call it a cape, is one of the prettiest things I've ever seen printed on fabric. I don't really like what's on her body though, and the yellow lather builders on her titties leaves something to be desired. The inside of the cape is pulling this look from a no way Jose to a just okay Jose. Argenis gets her turn to attempt to impress the judges, and she looks like she could be Ariana Grande's sister or cousin or something. Just look at the hair, the makeup, the garment. I love the golden feathers. I love it all. I don't know how she could possibly look any better. Argenis is totally getting a yes way Jose for this. Move over, Argenis. Regina wants the stage and your attention. This is another great runway here. For me, it's all about the neck up. The actual dress is just a good dress. However, the headpiece and her face are everything and a bag of chips. I do like that she added length to the look with the overskirt or whatever you would call that. Regina earns another yes way Jose. The final queen to show all her golden riches is Galavaro, and this makes me want to be religious. I am on board with worshiping at her altar. Just look at it. So many details. I'm struggling to compute this. I'm not sure how she made it look like gold was painted on her legs, but some mysteries in life will always remain. I need a towel because I'm drooling all over and saliva is getting everywhere. I do enjoy the headpiece, but it's a tiny bit too much. Love, love, love this look and love this for her. She's been struggling a bit with confidence, but not this week. Gala, do you want a yes way Jose? Because I have one with your name all over it. That concludes our runway of the Golden Goddesses. Lolita calls forward Matraca, Lady Caro, and Margaret. The three of them are safe and head backstage. The tops and bottoms are left on the stage. They are Christian, Serena, Pixie, Argenis, Regina, and Gala. I'm pretty sure I know who's top and who is bottom. Now for the judges to share their insights. So here is the thing with this week. Everyone did well in the Rusical, and the runway presentations were good. The judges are splitting hairs, so I'm just going to tell you the results. Christian, Regina, and Gala are the top three of this week. The judges praise Gala, but nothing like they praise Christian and Regina. The judges struggle to pick a winner between the two, but they manage. The winner of the Rusical is Christian Peralta. Both queens did fantastic in the Rusical and looked top-notch on the runway. I think that Christian edged out Regina with her runway presentation. Congrats to Christian on her second Maxi Challenge win, and also to Regina for another stellar performance 2 weeks in a row. That leaves us with the bottom three on stage, Serena, Pixie, and Argenis. Who should be safe? My personal opinion is that Serena should be safe. Hold for dramatic pause, Lolita announces the latest safe queen is Serena Morena. The judges agreed with me, sweet! That means Pixie and Argenis will be lip-syncing for their lives. Neither of them have had to lip-sync yet, so I don't know if this is going to be a good one or not. Before the lip sync starts, I would like to give my highest accolade this week to Argenis! Girl, you might be lip syncing, but you get the Jose You Slay award. Your look makes me question my sexuality and I'm ready to experiment. She gets this honor because I cannot find anything I would change. Everyone else has one or more things that I feel could be better about their look. Congrats on your first Jose You Slay. Hopefully it won't be your last. The song begins and my doubts of this cast's ability to deliver a fierce-ass lip-sync are put to bed. However, it is really only one of them that is delivering. Argenis is slaying this number. Pixie does okay, but you know how Drag Race goes. It doesn't matter what I think. It's up to the judges. Argenis serves face, dance moves, and stunts. As the two of them await the results, I'm getting nervous. I didn't really care what happened in the previous lip syncs, but I finally do care, and the winner of the lip sync is... Argenis! Thank goodness we finally got an excellent lip sync performance. Judging based on the other queens' faces, they were not expecting Pixie to sashay away. Or maybe they are just so torn up because they like her so much. Regardless, Pixie has her legacy intertwined in Drag Race Mexico history, and the whole world now knows that her carne es grande. Next week is a battle of the girl bands. I do love me a girl group challenge. I'm more excited for Drag Race Mexico than ever after all the great performances and looks this week. Did you enjoy this recap? If so, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Is this drag race just between Christian and Regina, or will someone else steal some thunder? Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see more of my recaps for Drag Race Mexico, as well as other franchises of Drag Race, make sure to smash the subscribe button. It's free and easy. I will see you all again next week. Until then, adios y mucho amor. Mwah, 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 mwah.